From your midstream perspective, can we just recap what your final stage is of the process, and do you see that changing at all going forward?
Yeah, two good questions. I mean, our typical, conventionally our chain of custody ends when we've either sold the helium ourselves or redelivered it to our customer or their customer at the tailgate of our plant, in the instances where we provide our services for a fee. I mean, IACX is a little unusual, but not, I guess, totally unique in this regard. We go a little farther downstream than a lot of the midstream or service providers have historically done. I mean, we sell helium to customers big and small. The guys like Nick you'll be hearing from, everything in between. I mean, but small, I mean, some local or regional distributors that might use a tube trailer of helium every other month, and then they go distribute smaller batches to, welding shops and balloon stores and florists and other, critical uses, and everybody in between. So, I mean, at this point, we've got, as a company, well over a dozen individual helium processing facilities in 6 states and in the U.S. and up in Saskatchewan as well, and a couple more coming online in the next several months. So, I mean, across that kind of spectrum, we've seen a little bit of everything. I said, I think the tendency is for, now that more projects are being developed, producers are getting more vertically integrated themselves. With owning and operating helium processing facilities, it enables us all to go a little bit farther downstream because, in the case of gaseous helium, you can make a market-ready product kind of right there on site, which is a lot different than, say, crude oil, where you can't, make motor gasoline right there. So it kind of requires a lot more downstream help. But again, some of these areas are very remote, and you need liquid at some point to be able to transport the molecules on a global basis, or even more economically within the U.S. So there are some constraints there. But that's kind of what we're seeing, is that as time goes on, people are kind of going farther downstream. But yeah, it's an interesting space for sure.